Management Conference in Nairobi, obviously happening in Nairobi, and that also will be coming up in the course of this conversation today. And indeed, we also have reporters in Mombasa, Kisumu, and other areas across the country, and giving you a front row view as regards what is happening in the country. My name is John Jacob Curio. My sign language interpreter this morning will be Byron Abuli. There was an interesting conversation happening this weekend, particularly on Friday, and brought together Nyanza professionals, and that is as regards the development of that region. Right now, I'm joined in studio by Ken Onditi, MBS, who is a member of the Nyanza Professionals Development Group, and is also a member, director, Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry, and also the chairperson of the Kenya Turkey Joint Business Council. Ken Onditi joins us this morning. Good morning, sir.
Thank you. Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well.
I hope your morning is good.
No, it's good. It's good.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
Probably to start us off in this conversation, let's speak about that meeting that you had with Cabinet Secretary Eliud Owalo, the CSICT. What was the conversation about?
Yes, we held, not necessarily, it was not a meeting, but it was a dinner which professionals from Nyanza organized. And this is not the first time we are organizing such a dinner. So we organized a dinner to come and talk on a round table, what affects us as a region. And we saw it fit to invite Honorable Eliud Owalo, the CS for ICT, to come and grace the occasion and also to talk to us, because we now embrace him as one of our own in the cabinet. Yes. Quite
an interesting one. Let's talk about particularly the development agenda, because you've spoken about the conversation of development
Yes.
in Nyanza region.
Yes.
What did you say are the three key priorities when it comes to development in that region?
Nyanza is, you well know, that is in western part of Kenya. And Nyanza has got 6 counties. We have Kisii, we have Homa Bay, we have Migori, we have Nyamira, and we have Kisumu, and we have Siaya. So 6 counties. So not only from the Luo, but we have also people. Korea are also in Migori. We have Kisii, part of Nyamira. Yeah, so you'll find that Nyanza also region is 12,400 kilometers square in area. And for the last 2 decades, the region has suffered collapse of formal sector and industrial activities. And when the collapse of formal sector happens and industrial activities, then there is massive unemployment. So those are one of the things which we would want as professionals to be addressed. And as professionals, we want to help and also assist our elected leaders to champion those. But the 3 major, you've asked me about 3 major development which would like to be implemented in the area. Is wide, but we'll narrow down to the 3 we've talked about. We have Bulu economy. Bulu economy, you know, it surrounds the lake. We have the lake, and you know that Lake Victoria is the 2nd largest freshwater lake in the world, after Superior Lake in North America. And Kenya has just 6% of the share of Lake Victoria, and Uganda has 45% the share of Lake Victoria, and Tanzania is the largest with 49% share of Lake Victoria. But the 6% which we have, we can turn it around. The blue economy is very important. And this government of His Excellency President Ruto he has advocated for blue economy. You can see it is in their blueprint. And that is the first thing, because that is the first resource we have in Nyanza. We would want the hyacinth, which has invaded Lake Victoria, to be removed. And also the silted Kavirondo Gulf, yes, to be dredged, so that it can open up to blue economy.
Probably before you even continue, because you've talked about water hyacinth, I think there was a project by the previous administration of President Uhuru Kenyatta of digging out the water hyacinth from the lake. Probably as a professional from that area, you can tell us the status of the removal of the water hyacinth. Did it succeed, or what exactly do you want from government this time?
I don't have facts, but what I know that the previous government tried removing the water hyacinth, but it has been removed to a certain level. It has not succeeded 100%. And that is one of the things as professionals we would want this government of William Ruto to help us remove the water hyacinth. And also, when the hyacinth is removed, Lake Victoria will have a transportation. The transportation will resume. The opportunity will connect lake towns. We have lake towns like Musoma, Nyanza, and Bukoba. You know, we will connect.
That's in Tanzania.
Yeah, that is Tanzania. And when that is done, then we'll have to move to those lake towns. And moving from one lake town to another, you know, it brings trades. The trade come in, the tourism come in, and also employment. And fishing is going to be one of the biggest when the hyacinth is removed, because now we can go to deep water fishing. And still on blue economy, we would like this government, to help professionals and to help our region, Nyanza region, to set up fish processing plant. We don't have fish processing plant. Maybe maybe sometimes back we had this individual small fish processing plant which is now not working because of hyacinth. We imagine we have fish processing plant in Thika and not in Nyanza, and we have the water there. So this is one of the blue economy issues which we want this government to help us. And you know, the blue economy can be revived if sufficiently resourced. And that is why we need the help of the government to help us in blue economy. And also, Kisumu County has tried a lot under Professor Anyang' Nyong'o leadership. By the way, Kisumu is now one of the cleanest city we have in Kenya.
That's true.
And that is true. And you can see, and it is going to be more clean again, because now we have two professors as the leaders there.
The senator and
Professor Anyang' Nyong'o as the governor, and also Professor Jienda as the senator. And you know, these are people who with a lot of vast knowledge, and Kisumu is going to be better, if better than what it is right now. And talking about the blue economy in Kisumu, we have what is called Kisumu Lakefront Development Corporation. This one was formed 2 years ago by Professor Anyang' Nyong'o, and it is going to change. It's going to be a game changer in the lake region, because it covers from Seme Beach to Dunga Beach, which is 40 kilometers apart around the lake. So around the lake, this Kisumu Lakefront Development Corporation, what do they want to do? What they want to do, they want to do economic environmental and social impact on our people. And how are they going to do this? They are going to do this by creating a master plan for the lakefront and also developing policy framework for investment. And you know, when there is an able environment for investment, you'll get investors from all over. And also to raise funds for the development of the region. And you'll find that when Lakefront Development Corporation do that 40-kilometer ring along the lake, between Seme Beach to Dunga Beach, they'll be trading between the inter-counties, they'll be trading between the small towns, there'll be also tourism fund, there'll be employment to our youth, hotel industries will emerge.
Absolutely.
And sporting activities will emerge. Marathon, which are being held in other countries along the lake, will also be held there. So it is a good idea which Professor Nyang came up with, Kisumu Lakefront Development Corporation. These are just within the blue economy. So blue economy is very wide.
Before you exit on that blue economy, let me cut you short just a bit. Back to the conversation. In studio, we are speaking to Ken Onditi. He is a member of the Nyanza Professionals Development Group and also director at the Kenya National Chambers of Commerce and Industry. And I think probably before we went to Gigiri, you were talking about the blue economy,
yes,
and the potential it holds for the people of Nyanza.
Yes, if I may wind on the blue economy, the biggest opportunity for the area is not water in the lake, but the missed opportunity of not using this water, the rivers which are flowing to the lake, because we need to use these rivers for irrigation. That is the biggest missed opportunity, because we have rivers like Yala, we have rivers like Nyando, we have rivers like Nzoia, Sondu, and Miriu. These rivers need to be used before they get into the lake by doing irrigation. So as professionals, these are the things which we advocate. When we met this year on Friday, this conversation was among the conversation which we want him to, or the things we want him to implement. Yeah, because our rivers, we don't use them for irrigation. And they are better used for irrigation before they flow into the lake. So that is the biggest...
Yet some of these rivers even flood.
Flood. Like River Nyando and the rest. So we need to have on board professionals. Even if we have elected leaders, we don't want to take the space for elected leaders, but we want to help them achieve their vision. And that's why we've embraced our CS Eliud Owalo, and he has also embraced us. You know that Nyanza, quite a large percentage is in opposition, going by the last voting pattern. So, but we need to have somebody who can also talk to the government, and we've embraced our CS Owalo, and we believe it got all what it takes to do that, because is well knowledgeable person in areas of management, planning, and is a strategist also, by the way. So we have still, if I may wind up on blue economy, we have like Kenya breweries. You know, Kenya breweries, they can come, and I think they have started growing of sorghum in the region. And how do our people benefit with these Kenya breweries being there? Is it really benefiting our people? Our leaders must check on this. Are they just coming, minting money and going away with it? Or is this money put into some social responsibility areas? So as a professional, we are well concerned, and we are very much concerned. Other area which we may want our leaders. And also,
but actually, before you move to the other area, just a quick follow-up on the blue economy bit, because fisheries is one of the biggest earnings for the people of Nyanza.
Yes.
But there's an aspect of exploitation.
Yes.
Just around the lake.
Yes.
When the fisherman comes out from the lake with his fish, there's an aspect of exploitation, so much so that even the distributors want to come, or the buyers want to come just by the lake, and even the prices they want to buy the fish with are some quite outrageous prices. So there's that aspect of exploitation, and then there's the aspect of exploitation from our neighbors in Uganda, particularly around Migingo. As professionals from Nyanza region, what are you doing about those two things?
Yeah, it is so sad, John, that we have the lake and we don't see much benefit of it. It is so sad, and as professionals, we cannot sit back as business as usual when we are seeing this is happening. Decade come, decade go, decade come, decade go. Since independence is over 60 years. Is there any change? We want this change to start, and starting can start from anywhere. And we would like us to be associated with that beginning. What you are saying, you are right. Last December, I was home. I drove out to Mbita, where I'm buying the fish from the lake. But you find that the people who are coming to buy this fish are not from the region. We don't have any problem. They bring money, but they don't bring enough money. Are you getting me? Because they come, they have got strategy of how they want this thing to be done. They come when now you are desperate, your fish is almost going bad, and then you give it at a throwaway price. Are you getting me? And also we don't have cold storage. So we are advocating for the cold storage. There is no fish which need to come from the lake and sold to the distributor and sold to any other person directly. What are we advocating? We are advocating as professionals. We want to have circles. Yeah, circles help a lot. We want to have circles along the beach. We have got so many beaches. Each and every beach will be maintained by a circle. And we are going to go out also talk to our governors, talk to our elected leaders. At the same time, we want to talk to national government to help us achieve this. When we have the circles, with your fish from the lake, you sell it to the circle. The circle has got cold storage and can store it and can sell it at the price which is standard. So one price can come from Semi Beach to Dunga Beach, or from Semi Beach up to Homa Bay. Yeah. So that's what we want. Not exploitation, because if we are selling fish individually to any other person, we are not benefiting. Yes, and people exploit us a lot because they come and buy this fish at a throwaway price. So we would want the government through our CSO law to help us make sure that we have fish processing plant, one in Kisumu, one in Homa Bay, one in Siaya, and cold storage. And we want also, because in our professional group, we have, if you saw the caliber of people who are in that dinner from Nyanza,
Yes.
they are experts in their own fields. And they have got all what it takes to advise our elected leaders. We don't want to take the space of elected leaders. We don't want to play politics, but we want to help the elected leaders achieve their vision. So that's why we are coming in. We've got insurance guru in these committees and a group. We've got bankers and non-bankers. We've got also finance people. We've got all sorts of professionals. We have got engineers, we've got contractors like me, and that's why we are advocating for bull economy, and we would want the government to listen to us. It should not be used business as usual, because we need to change that around.
All right.
Yeah. Now,
the second priority.
The second priority is agriculture. You see, sometimes back in Nyanza, we were growing cotton. Cotton is no longer grown there, and we had Kisumu cotton mills. It collapsed. That's why I started by saying that in the last 2 decades, the industrialization or industries have collapsed in Nyanza, and we would want this to be changed, to be turned around. It is never too late to revive cotton farming, because we believe that with the help of the government, we can get proper seeds, we can get extension officers who can be helping the farmers. The farmers can be, their land can be tilted or plowed, even if they don't have the money, because what makes us not do this is resources. You have the land, you don't have money to buy the to tilt it, you don't have money to weed it, you don't have the money to buy fertilizer, you don't have money to plant and even to harvest. So if government comes in and to help us on these areas, you will find that cotton growing will start. Yes. And then this is what this group of professionals from Nyanza are advocating.
Hold that thought.
Yes. And then we have...
Hold on, just hold on a bit. We're talking about the development of the Nyanza region. You were talking about cotton, and I remember when the president was in Homa Bay, the first time he came, when he was after inauguration, and then even the second round that he was there, he really spoke passionately about the revival of a cotton industry in the counties of Nyanza.
Yes, that's right. And I would like also to take this opportunity to thank the president for coming to Homa Bay, because he came to Homa Bay exactly 18 days after his swearing in. So that one showed us that he has a lot of interest in Homa Bay. And also, personally, I come from Homa Bay, and we are very happy. He promised that, and these are the things now we want as professionals from Nyanza. We make sure that it happens, and we need to help the president. We need to help our leaders to achieve this. You know, the professionals don't play politics, but we want to make sure that these things happen. So cotton need to be revived in Nyanza, because many of our brothers and sisters went to school. Their school fees were paid through cotton. Now, why can we not have proper rice mill? We know that we have a hero rice mill. If you are in the shelf of these supermarkets all over Kenya, you find the rice mwea. Even in Kisumu, we find mwea. I would like to see a situation whereby in Nairobi, I buy a hero rice in the supermarket. So we need to engage our leaders, and we want to find out why is Ahero rice irrigation is not doing, or Ahero rice mill is not doing well. And we have also even Lake Basin Development Authority. They have got also rice mill, but it is not distributed beyond the region. Would like to know why. So these are areas whereby we would want the president, also the government, to help us achieve. As individuals or the county alone, we cannot. Yeah, those are the areas. And then the fishing activity is enormous. And fishing is the ready resource we have, the raw material which we have. We need to do value addition. We don't want our fish to come from Kisumu all the way to Nairobi. We need a value addition. So in agriculture still we have dairy farming, which is not doing very well in our region, but we are also embarking on the mission why it is not doing well. Yet we've got top agriculturalists, people who are trained in farming and in dairy, who are working with the USA, the UN and all that. We want to find out why dairy farming, why can it not do better? Because we are just next to Kisii. Our climate, like Homa Bay, is just next to Kisii. Our climate is favorable there. So dairy farming is something whereby we want to also to encourage our people to venture into, and we want to educate them in those areas, and we will do so by also working with our elected leaders and the government. So, and when there's dairy farming, we can also open up animal feeds. You know that, and when we have also farming, we can also open maize meal feed. Like, I'm very happy with Homa Bay County. Homa Bay County, where I come from, Governor Wanga has just completed Arojo animal feeds. Yes, and now we will be manufacturing feeds for animal there, and it will create employment. It will also earn revenue. Kenya will also get their taxes. Also, maize milling factory. Yeah, which has also been complete. You know that in Homa Bay now we have a factory, however small, but it needs to be expanded. But this factory, like the ones I've mentioned, which are in Homa Bay, we want them to be in Siaya, we want them to be in Migori, we want them to be in other parts of the region. Now, those I've mentioned two areas, blue economy and agriculture. Now, the third one, which is also very important, is infrastructure. This government need to give priority to the improvement of infrastructure. We have various infrastructure which we want. Roads, we have like Ahero-Hispania Road, which has already been done. I think they are completing some parts. But apart from that, we would want, you know, that is now national government. We would want national government to give us feeder roads, which are emerging from the main roads. And the feeder roads will connect towns and will connect centers. When it connects centers, then trade is there, then connectivity is there. So it solves a lot of problems. We have also Kisumu-Kakamega Road, which we are asking the government, and we would want to hold also discussion with the government on this to be completed and the feeder road around it. Most important, since we talk of blue economy, we have what is called Ring Road. Ring Road is a road which is connecting 3 countries and extending to 5 countries. Ring Road is 450 kilometers around the lake. Tanzania is there, Uganda is there, Burundi and Rwanda is there. Around 450 kilometers. I think Tanzania and Uganda has done their bit. Kenya, we've not done our bit. So as professionals, we can't sit back and say that our elected leaders are the only people who can advocate for development in the region. Yeah, that is one of the reasons why we invited the CS for ICT, Honorable Eliud Owalo, to listen to us. Because if we don't talk about these things, nobody will know. And then that ring road, we are asking the president and we are asking the government to help do it. And when it is done, the ring road on Kenya side, I'm telling you, tourism will go up, the value of the land there will go up, industry like hotels will emerge, hospitals will come. So, and then definitely border posts will be created. When border posts are created, the Kenyan government earns revenue, and people also get employed all over the Kenya. So the infrastructure is very, very important. And because you find that that ring road, it runs from, on Kenya side, it runs from Bumala in Busia, which is bordering Uganda, and it goes up to Muhuru Bay in Migori, which is bordering Tanzania. So you can see the connectivity. So, and agriculture will be hyped and everything. Actually, when the network is there, then everything is okay. Yes.
It's a complete open up of the entire region.
Complete open up. And then also still on infrastructure, we have lake transport. When the hyacinth has been removed also, we need to have, like right now we have water bus, which is a private entity property. But we would like the government of Kenya to chip in on the lake transport. We are happy that the president announced and President Ruto announced is coming to open Uhuru MV in May, which is very important for us. And those are the things which we want. And we are also advocating for investors to come and invest in the lake. That's the whole reason why these professionals have come together.
Right.
And we are embracing this, yes, to advocate this for us through the government.
Okay. All right. As you talk about, embracing the cabinet secretary, and you rightly pointed out that probably 70% of that region belongs, or rather voted for the opposition or are in opposition. But you have the leader of that region, Raila Odinga, a national leader for that matter, saying he does not recognize the President Ruto's administration and any other official under President Dr. William Ruto. That's a tightrope. As professionals, what do you think of that statement?
First of all, let me start by saying I'm not a politician.
Yeah.
And the professional group where we are not politicians. So, and we don't want to rub politicians wrongly, but what you are saying, the stand which Baba has taken of non-recognition of the President Ruto's government, this is what I would like to say as a professional. Election is now behind us, and we have to wait for the next 4 years, 7 months to do another election. That is a fact. Yeah, so, and we have a president who was duly sworn in the name of His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto. He is the president of the whole country, not only Nyanza region. Yes, and he has categorically said, if you listen to President very well, he has categorically said that he's not going to isolate any part of the country in the name of politics. And he has not said it once. And the demonstration, as you've seen, after 18 days after swearing in, where did he land?
Into Homa Bay.
In Homa Bay. Next. And Homa Bay, when he came with the development agenda. 1, affordable housing has been started. 2, he has given some money for the pier to be done. 3, the fish market next there, he has given some money for it to be done. He also promised our governor to complete the stadium, which was started by the former governor, and is now being completed by the governor Gladys Wanga. He promised to do something about it. And there is going to be 2,000 houses, affordable housing. And when he came there, not even when he came there, he has been saying it, the locals are the people who are going to benefit. The raw materials or what is needed for this construction, contractors will come from local. So we are going to benefit big time. So is the president of the country. Is not the president of Nyanza only. We, the professionals, support his development agenda, and we recognize him as the professor, as the president, because he has proven that even if you voted for him or you didn't vote for him, then he has proven people wrong. And we would not want him to change despite the politics going on. Because let politicians do their bit. They are very good in doing their bit. But as professionals, we also want to do our bit.
You also want to do your bit.
So that stand constitutionally does not deter development in Nyanza. Unless the government of the day decided to do so. Yes.
Quite interesting, because you've spoken about that trip, and you remember just like about a month ago, the president was in nearly all counties in Nyanza and actually met all leaders from Luo Nyanza counties. And I'm wondering about the amount of development negotiated by probably Governor James Orengo for Siaya, Gladys Wanga for Homa Bay, Ochilo Ayaku for Migori, Anyang' Nyong'o for Kisumu. If such a stance is there, I mean, what would your advice be to the leaders from this region who want to spur development in their areas, while at the same time risking isolation from the ground?
I would tell you that we are maturing day by day politically. And you find that the election which just happened is not the same as the other time, because you can see that there was less chaos, and there was a lot. There was. I mean, the chaos didn't erupt. So we are maturing politically. So politics is always there. And when politics is there, development is always there. So it is either you choose to play politics or you do development. But what you are saying, I'm not in a position to advise them, but just to give you the stand of the professionals. The stand of the professional is that we want development. Our people know what they want. And our people know the difference between politics and development as at now. Because this is the government which is there. If we want development, then we'll better work with this government of the day. Yeah, so the advice, let me tell in a polite way, let them read the mood of the people and let them learn from what people want. Yes.
That is very important.
Yes.
The role of professionals, because it is important that we speak about that. Like you rightly point out, politics will be politics.
Yes.
What is the role of professionals in guiding their people or representative communities on what priorities ought to be?
Okay. The professionals, as you know that, and I've told you that we are not in active politics, but we associate with the people who play politics. Yeah, so our role is the transformation of the region, both, I mean, economically, socially, and environmentally. That is a main role which we would want to do. But somebody can argue that this has been done before. But we would want to say that the position, the gap which we've seen, and the void which is there, we want to sensitize our people on development matters in our region. And then also benchmark for our people from other regions, also in terms of development. Also, we want to tell our people the importance of working with an elected government. And we want also, in terms of education, to support the needy, bright student who wants to further their studies. And this group of professionals, we are encouraging local investments and also people from diaspora to come and invest in the region. That too will be our main aim, but it is us who can do it as professionals, because we have our other professional in other parts of Kenya and who come from the region. We have professional in diaspora, so as we can talk to them and tell them and encourage them to invest in the region. We also want to sensitize our people on the availability opportunities, both in government and private sector. You know, there are a lot of opportunity in government, but if there is no information flowing, our people will not know. We have got scholarship, we've got training, we've got employment, both in private and in government. So this group is just to sensitize our people. Because people who have left school, who have left colleges, they don't have that capability of knowing too much, but it is us. Also, we want to help and identify and advise on short and long-term projects and lobby with the government on their implementation. Yes.
It is very important.
Yes.
Talking about representation, because you pointed that out, some of the opportunities that exist within government. A quick one for you. Do the people of Nyanza feel ably represented in government?
Let me take this opportunity to thank the President for appointing CS Owalo to be the CS for ICT, and also appointing Dr. Raymond Omolo, the PS for Interior, and also Kombudo for the PS Trade. Let me thank him for that. And it is an honor, but it is not enough.
Okay.
That's the feeling of professionals. And I can tell you, when the president, when he came to the Thanksgiving ceremony for the CSOL, I was present there, and he said that he knows that we still need more appointment in the government, the region, and he promised to do so. So I would want to thank him in advance for that promise. Yeah, and we believe and hope that he's still going to bring people, because we have like the professionals who met this years. They are experts in their own areas, in their own field. So these are people who can also advise the government and as well advise our counties.
Right.
Yeah, so I believe he's going to do something about it. Yes.
As we wrap up, I'm sure you saw CS Elirowalu distributing food relief to hunger-stricken residents of parts of Nyanza. And there was that accusation of he's doing politics. And probably trying to undercut the regional kingpin. Question is, you two as a professional group risk running into this accusation of, playing politics? How do you ward off these accusations?
Let me start with CSOL distributing food. You see, the CSOL is an appointee of the government and the president. There is no way CSOADO would wake up one morning and start distributing food to Luo Nyanza without the blessing of the president, without some directives. And in that position, he is going to do what the president directs him to do. Yeah, so, and I believe these are the executive directives which he follows. So him is a civil servant, is a worker for the president. So you can't accuse him of doing the politics, because president can't send him anywhere. Coming to people accusing the professionals as politicians, categorically, I want to tell you that we'll be accused, because politicians don't like people who are doing what they are supposed to do. And the politicians don't like people are enlightening people on the areas they are not supposed to. Because politicians are there for survival. But us as professionals, we are there for development. So we don't want to enter into politics, but we also respect our elected leaders, because we see this development which we want to advocate for, or which we are advocating for. We must also embrace them and also liaise with them. So we are not in politics. We are not in politics. Like, okay, me, I'm an entrepreneur, I'm a contractor, and director at Chamber of Commerce, and I don't think I'll enter into politics.
You have no interest?
I have no interest in being a politician. Yes, if I wanted, I would have been. Yeah, but not now. So as professionals, we are concerned with uplifting the economic, social, and environmental welfare of our people in that region. We don't have to do politics. So let no politician view us as politicians. I know many politicians will not be happy. But you saw the caliber of people who are there. These are people who can advise even the government on areas. Yeah, like we had, for example, we had the former Auditor General.
Edward Ouko.
Edward Ouko was there. He's among our professionals. And Edward Ouko is the chairman of Lake Kisumu Lakefront Development Corporation. Yes, we had insurance gurus there. We had renowned bankers there. Yeah, and we had also even advisors who are advising Jacom sometimes back. Yeah, so They have come, and that is why this group has been formed. We don't want it to be using business as usual when it comes to development. We want to engage the government. We want to engage our elected leaders. We want also to embrace the people who have been appointed by President Ruto to further the development agenda in our region.
A quick one before we wrap up, because you talk about engaging elected leaders, and some of the development priorities you're talking about that you want initiated by government from that region obviously will require some legal framework, and that means then going to Parliament. How are you engaging members of Parliament, particularly from that region, to carry on their shoulders this agenda and prioritize them?
That's why we've said that we need to respect the elected leaders. We don't want to do their bit, and we are also doing our bit because we've seen that gap. I would want to tell you, like Tom Mboya University College. Tom Mboya, now it is Tom Mboya University.
Yes.
Yeah. What Governor Awiti did when he was in the office, he called professionals. I was among them. Professor Kerr was there. Professor Moy was there. And Professor Odhiambo was there. He called the professionals and told the professionals, I would want the university to be started in Homa Bay. And then we had to involve the politicians at a later date. But even if we did involve them, some of them resisted.
Resisted the idea?
Yeah, they resisted the idea.
Okay.
Yeah, they resisted the idea. So not all ideas from professionals will be welcomed by the politicians, no. But eventually, we had Tom Mboya University College. And now it was given charter just the other day. Yes, and this one came as a result of professionals who are on board, brought by Governor Awiti. Yeah, so professionals can turn around things, but in liaison with the elected leaders. So we are not going to ignore them. Yeah, we are not going to ignore them.
We are not going to ignore them.
Yes.
Thank you very much for your time, Ken Onditi. Probably can give you a moment on that camera to do your final remarks, and then we put a cap on it. Yes, that's what. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you for inviting me to come and share with you what professionals from Nyanza think, and what you need to know, or what our people from the region know. We've stepped up as professionals who would want to assist our elected leaders, and we would also want to assist the people the President Ruto have appointed to further the development agenda for the region. Let us come all together, and together we can win. Let us not be divided. As professionals, we are not politicians, and will not engage in politics. That is one rule which we put for you to join as a professional in this group. We are going to help all our counties, the 4 counties, to get development, and that is our main aim.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Ken Onditi, MBS, a member of the Nyanza Professionals Development Group, the Director, Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and also Chairman of the Kenya Turkey Joint Business Council. We're speaking about development in Nyanza region. Of course, you know the political tensions ongoing, but indeed saying that is to be ignored, because at the end of the day, the people of Nyanza need development. That is what they will be championing inside President Ruto's government through the ICT Cabinet Secretary, that is Eliud Owalo. Once more, thank you very much for joining us.
Welcome.
And have yourself a fantastic day. Of course, in the second hour of News Check, we'll be looking at education matters, and we'll be focusing on the transition from primary school to secondary school. Yesterday was the reporting date for Form 1s. Let's just look at some of the emerging trends and challenges therein and talk about them with educationists and experts in the education sector. Don't go too far. We're taking a breather. Coming back in a minute.